Okay, my friends, good day to everyone. What is my message today? I don't know, but we will capture everything in our mind. I asked someone a question here the other day regarding time because time have been in my mind for quite a time. And I asked them if they could have some thoughts of if you could go. We know that we can't go backwards in time. We can't go forward in time. Just even a half a second, we can't do it. And my question was, if we could go back half a second, if that was possible, wouldn't we be in the initial starting point of the time, not just a linear timeline, like we experience something that happened like that, and it will be a loop, and we will repeat ourselves. No, it's not like that. It's quite inconceivable to even take it in. But I have this kind of idea that maybe time doesn't exist without movement. So what really happens? And I thought that it was kind of deep and a man there, which we celebrated big time, he said that is something I would like to think about, and I'm happy for that. You see, if you go back half a second, I think we in our realm, old time, we are talking like we can go back in time by a spacecraft, maybe in a theoretical notion or a theoretical way. We can go back half a second, half a minute, half an hour, and so on. But I think that doesn't really help. That really doesn't happen. I'm not saying this because I know it, but I have given some thoughts to this. And what really may happen in this realm of time is that it's kind of a movement. So think of it as the time is just a border, just a line that connects the end and the beginning, just in that moment. And the whole space is moving because everything in this realm of reality is moving objects. Even the tiniest object is moving. Something is moving all the time. It's kind of this, when you go deep into this micro universe, you will see that it's moving all the time. It's a kind of a vibration, and I got to understand that everything exists in its own matter, just because of this vibration. Even the tiniest atom and molecule and everything is constructed of this vibration. And I don't know how to explain it, and you know that I'm not I'm not skilled in this. I don't know, but I think that the time that we are enduring, even though we have a memory of present moments, it's not now. It's just what we remember now. It is kind of very enigmatic. It's kind of very deep into something we can't really understand. How things exist out of this moment of time. Wouldn't it be evaporated everything if that was the case? So I asked them out of this question, if we could go back half a second, would we be in the very beginning of time? And it kind of blew their mind. I don't think time doesn't change. Time doesn't change. It's only we in the space that are changing. It's changing all the time, and we get this. Maybe the memory will be lost if we lost track of time. If the time was moving as we do it now, I don't think the animals does know that it is that the time is moving. I think it's we look at the reality, time and everything, in a very superficial way, because we see a matter like this, coffee cup tastes good and everything, but we see it in a very superficial way. If we could tap in to the very molecular level and the world that governs that structure. This is just a superficial cup. It is just a superficial matter. Deep down, in its own building blocks, it's bound by this vibration and what keep it together. So I don't know where to go with this. It's hard to come around. But if the opposite was the case, not opposite right away, but if the case was that the time is standing still, it's only we that are moving, that would make sense to a lot of questions. So we go by terminology and maybe think in a way that our terminology, our way with words, is the scientific fact, and we say that when time comes, when we come to that arrival of movement, then. And that is now. So when you have these prophets in the Bible, they talk about a futuristic reality. So they could tap into what will happen in a future. Maybe the future is now, but we can't see it. Only if we believe in movement, we believe in the time that is standing still, but we are advancing all the time. We are moving from one point to another, and maybe we can be in contact with everything, even now. When I'm talking, we can be in contact, in connection with everything, both the past and the future. So why do we believe that we have had a past if we can't believe that we all also can be in contact with the future. It's something to think about. Maybe some music to this. Yeah, I don't want to spoil either the music or me. So maybe enough with this time. I think the balance, our balancing of our life. Lately I've been dealing with stuff that have to do with balancing. Balancing my own mind. Everything is based on my own perspective, how I see it, how my viewpoint, how I perceive things. And sometimes, maybe all the times, I need to adjust. I need to take a leap of faith in order to trust, in order to come to grips, to terms with that I haven't the whole picture of reality. I have to live with a certain insecurity or in uncertainty that I can't really make sense of. Sometimes we are all in a limbo state. I don't want to talk for you or someone that I may think of or like that, but it's kind of we make assumption of things in our own mind that maybe judge everything wrong. We are not in balance. You see, my friend laughed at me when I was trying my best to talk with some guys that was talking about a car that was maybe broken down or something about the starter or the dynamo and so on. And I tried to get in some points, and they asked overrun me. And we have been talking, my friend, we have been talking in length about how we communicate, how we interact with each other and so on, and he's a wise guy. And in some regard, maybe I have been inspiring him too on my viewpoints, how I see the world, how I figure things out. And I was trying to talk with those guys. They were talking about this car that didn't work or something, and I had some idea. And told them. I tried. So I ended up, because they just run me over, they didn't listen, and we always this and interrupting. So I thought those people are not in balance. Those people doesn't really listen. They only hear what they are thinking. And I said something like, are you only listening to your own information? And and it's kind of a good comment, because when people only talk out of their own conviction, I ask them first, are you really interested in what I have to say? No. and that was the case closed. I had to ask, because some people, when you talk with them, they can't really listen. They don't listen. Even which way you try to communicate with them, they wouldn't listen. And I have been talking to very angry persons, and they seems to miss the point all the way. So I just cut it short and asked, are you interested in what I have to say? No. That was a no. And I said, that's okay. Bye. And I said, you are just listening to your own information. You just talk out of your own information. And what kind of information is that when you are just so locked down by someone else's information? I should know something about a car. I thought so, and in that case I would also talk out of my own information. But if we are 2 or 3 together, we should come to some ideas. And since I heard them talking back and forth like that, they didn't even listen to each other. So that was so my friend got that kind of idea that people, when they are communicating, they are not interacting. They are just pushing the other one away, or blaming someone else for what they are feeling. So they say nowadays that you can't accuse someone for what you are feeling. You have to understand why you feel the way you do, and if so be that you have reasons to feel that way, you should at least be decent to ask, rather than to claim, rather than to accuse, rather than hitting the other target, being a target. And that is, I think that is a good way to do it. What is this from a time movement, space movement, to this thing? It's kind of the same. We are talking about the same in a very polar opposite way, because we can stand still, and if we don't consider what is happening around, that is changing all the time, that would make us be in the past in a way. Even though we are here now, we will be kept in the past, because if I don't adapt to new pictures, adapt to new environment that is changing all the time, the time per se is not changing anything. Maybe the time makes the space go around. I don't know. It's a mysterious entity, but the space is changing, and we have to come to grips. We have to come to terms with that spatial differences from one moment to next, and if we just consider our own kind of information, what we know ourselves, and don't consider anybody else's information, that's kind of a stagnant personality that we are afraid to open. Like I talked with some broadcasting studio, that they were so narrow-minded in some regards, both the situation in Middle East and this pandemic that we have been through, that you are so narrow, you are so one-sided that it doesn't really make sense. And he said that we cannot, the one that have your opinion, they are so few, but we can't view them. We can't expose that kind of ideas. Of course, you are obligated to expose it, because even though we may be few, it's an objective fact that some people have this opinion, and there is good reasons for that. It's like the truth is by the multitudes. If people are stupid, they are idiots, because in some regards they even believe this naivety makes them believe that since there are 1,000 that have this opinion and only one disagree and have some different opinion, the one is wrong and the 1,000 is right, because they put out this how can the whole world believe something and be wrong, and you single man, you must be so stupid. But they don't think about what's the differences. They don't go into what the other person are talking about. So that's how stupid the world is today. This naivety, this lack of reflection and digging, it's how it is. And even the Western media regarding Israel and all this kind of stuff, they don't consider whatever happens in Israel. They don't consider that as information. They just block it out. They are so narrow-minded and listen to only one-sided information, as if they are afraid of something. The leftists are so corrupt in that regard. So the leftists still believe that time will move and we will be advancing like that. But you see, the world is as it is. We have connection with the past and the future in the one moment. So maybe it's true that time makes the reality circle. The time does something with the reality. Maybe God creates instantly everything in one long sequence. Everything exists as long as it's moving. So be on the move, be on the verge of reality, be on the peak of what's happening. Be informed. You can't just accuse someone because you feel that way. No, you have to ask questions. You have to adapt to new situations, and maybe you did misunderstood everything from that point that you were maybe felt attacked or disapproved or something. I don't know, but you have to consider yourself in a realm that you have to adapt. That's why someone like me have so hard time to adapt to new situation, because I'm kind of I don't want to live in the past, of course, but it's kind of hard to accept something that you felt very hard about. It can be regarding relationship, it can be regarding where you're at, which place you should be, with which people you should be mingling with, and so on. It can be hard to take the reality in, but it makes us mature. It makes us able to cope rather than to resign, rather than to give up everything that is tormenting us. It gives us an opportunity to understand things more broadly. I have different friends, and I think we need friends. In a way, even if we don't feel like that, maybe to be together with other people makes us adapt in a better way. If you have a girlfriend or boyfriend or something, and if you love them, you will do your best to better yourself, to be the person that people can learn from, to adapt from, that you can be someone that makes people reflect. I try to do that, and it can be hard, but if you don't trust yourself, if you don't know where you are, it's a starting point by asking, where am I now? Where are you? So this was not the best speech, but I have those thoughts that may have been echoing in your mind, and we are all humans. We are all trying to do our best. To resign is kind of giving up, and no one, I can bet on that, no one wants someone to give up. Only your enemies want you to give up. The enemies want you to be lost. But don't look at everybody as enemies. Be adjusted. I have met many people that may have been given up. And they told me that never have people around me asked those questions. Like, how are you? And this kind of, maybe it's invading, maybe it's not nice to be asked like that, but it's kind of a consideration of someone that maybe feel alone or lonely or something. How are you, my friend? It's nice to talk, it's nice to interact. It's nice to have you here, because you make the difference. You make the world go around. And the time is here and now. And believe in time. I believe in time. I believe also in movement. It's kind of an interaction of time and space that are moving, that are impacting each other in a way that we may benefit from. We are interacting in people now, with ourselves now, in the environment now. So gain some blessings from that. Be a blessing out of that. My friends, I wish you the best. You are the best. And be the best. Okay, bye.